8.77 million people still pay for Tinder. Last year, it was 9.53 million. That is a loss of 760,000 paying users in 12 months. But here is what makes that number dangerous. Match Group did not panic. They made more money per remaining user. Revenue per payer climbed 5% to $17.63, while the user base shrank 8%. They are charging more to fewer people. That is not a business recovering. That is a business strip mining. The company's own chief financial officer told analysts that paying users are not a metric they are specifically focused on. Users are calling it pay-to-play. The filings confirm it. There have been 7 consecutive quarters of paying user decline, according to Bank of America. The stock has lost 82% of its value since 2021, falling from $182 to $32. The metric that built the company is no longer the priority. What happened? Over 11 years, Match Group built a paywall around every positive emotion the app generates. The mechanism that forces you to pay is the same mechanism that makes the app worse after you pay. That is the swipe paywall. It is eating itself. Here is exactly how it works. The free tier gets throttled on a schedule. The upgrade temporarily restores your matches. Then the pool collapses because the paywall drives the very people you are paying to meet out of the system. To understand how the machine broke, you need to see how it was built. In September 2012, Tinder launched with a radical proposition. Everything was free, unlimited swipes, unlimited matches, no ads, no tiers, no blur. The product was the product. By 2023, Tinder was selling a $499 a month tier, not a dating app, a monetization ladder. Free users now get roughly 50 to 100 likes per day. No super likes, no rewind, no passport, blurred likes, and interstitial ads between every few swipes. The free experience went from everything to almost nothing. But this was not random. Each restriction followed a precise financial logic. And the single most profitable mechanic they ever invented, the one that turned Tinder from a $169 million business into a $404 million business in 12 months, was not a feature they added. It was a feature they blurred. That blur is worth understanding, because it is the blueprint for everything that came after. If you want more documentaries built on filings and earnings call transcripts, not hot takes, subscribe. August 29, 2017. Tinder Gold launches, and with it, the most effective conversion engine in app history. Gold introduced a feature called Likes You, which lets you see who swiped right on you. But for free users, those profiles appeared as a grid of blurred photos. You could see shapes, colors, maybe hair length, but not faces. And every new incoming like renewed the count. 12 people liked you, 47 people liked you, 99 plus. This is the Zeigarnik effect weaponized. Your brain cannot close an open loop. Someone liked you. Who? The answer exists. It is right there. You just cannot see it. Approximately 8% of users upgrade to Gold specifically to unblur that grid. And in 2017, Tinder's revenue jumped 139%. The blur proved something Match Group would never forget. You do not need to make the product better to make more money. You just need to make the free version worse. And that principle, degrade free, convert to paid, became the operating doctrine for the next 7 years. But there is a problem with that doctrine. It has a mathematical endpoint. Let us trace exactly what they took away and when. First, they capped swipes and introduced age-based pricing. Users over 30 paid double. The rewind feature was removed from the free tier. Then, they created paid visibility. Boost launched in 2016, always paid, claiming 10 times the profile views. Platinum arrived in 2020 at $49.99 a month. And finally, they cut what they had already sold. By 2022, free users lost their daily super like entirely, and paid subscribers saw super likes reduced from 5 per day to 5 per week, a 71% reduction. Each individual change seems minor. A super like here, a rewind there. But compound them over a decade, and the free user's experience has been hollowed out. The 2012 product and the 2025 product share a name and nothing else. It is the ship of Theseus, except every plank they removed, they sold back to you. But degrading the free tier only works if free users convert to paid. What happens when they do not convert, when they just leave? That is where the SEC filings tell the real story. User complaints were just noise. The real smoking gun was not in the app reviews. It was buried in the quarterly filings, hiding in plain sight. Tinder's paying users peaked at roughly 10.9 million in 2022. Then the decline started, and it never stopped. In the first quarter of 2024, paying users were down 9%. In the fourth quarter of 2025, paying users were down 8%. U.S. monthly active users collapsed from approximately 18 million to 11 million, a 39% drop. In the United Kingdom, reach fell 24% in a single year. 600,000 users were gone. For 3 years, Match Group offset the losses by raising prices. Revenue per payer climbed approximately $3 per user between 2022 and 2024, extracting more from each remaining subscriber. The squeeze worked until the first quarter of 2025. That quarter, revenue per payer turned negative for the first time, down 1%. Payers were still leaving at 6%. Both levers, price and volume, moved down simultaneously. The strategy collapsed. Even Tinder's own founders saw the extraction pattern early. In 2017, IAC consolidated Tinder at a $3 billion valuation, despite internal estimates from Match Group's own CEO valuing it at $12 billion just a year earlier. The founders alleged that projections given to the banks deliberately excluded the revenue impact of Tinder Gold, the feature about to drive revenue up 139%. They sued. In December 2021, Match Group settled for $441 million, nearly wiping out the company's entire cash reserves. No admission of guilt. $441 million suggests the evidence was substantial. The market's verdict was equally brutal. Match Group's stock fell 82%, from $182 to $32 per share. But the most remarkable thing is not that the stock crashed. It is that Match Group had a backup plan all along, and it was hiding in plain sight. In June 2018, Match Group quietly acquired 51% of a small dating app called Hinge for an undisclosed sum. When Match first disclosed Hinge's revenue in 2020, it was $90 million. By 2025, it was $691 million, nearly 8 times in 5 years. In the same period, Tinder's revenue flatlined and began declining. But here is the number that matters most. Hinge charges $32.96 per paying user. Tinder charges $17.63. Hinge users are worth nearly double. Chief Executive Officer Spencer Rascoff introduced a framework at the fourth quarter 2025 earnings call. Tinder is fun, social, low pressure. Hinge is focus, intentional, relationship-oriented. Hinge is expanding aggressively into Mexico, Brazil, Argentina, and India. Meanwhile, Tinder's marketing gets a fraction of that investment. The company is not trying to save Tinder, it is managing its decline. Think about what this means. When a frustrated Tinder user deletes the app and downloads Hinge, they are still sending their money to Match Group. The worse Tinder gets, the better Hinge is designed to be deleted pitchworks. Match Group does not need Tinder to succeed. It needs Tinder users to migrate. The company owns both the disease and the cure. Be honest. Did paying for a dating app ever make your matches better, or just quieter for a month? Hinge already has Rose Jail, where the most attractive profiles are paywalled behind roses that cost $3.33. Gizmodo confirmed that Hinge shadow bans users. Is Hinge's promise that it is designed to be deleted sincere, or is it just an earlier step in the same cycle? To understand why the cycle might repeat, you need to understand what Tinder's own vice president of product admitted about the algorithm. Jonathan Badeen told reporters the Tinder algorithm can actively decide to deny you a match by choosing not to show profiles to each other. He said this specifically to slow down the upper percentages of the most desirable people. He added, "It is scary to know how much it will affect people. I try to ignore some of it, or I will go insane." Meanwhile, journalist Judith Duportail used the General Data Protection Regulation to obtain 800 pages of her personal Tinder data. She uncovered U.S. Patent 9,733,811, describing a desirability scoring system. The patent contains an example where a man gets a bonus score for high earnings, but a woman in the same situation gets a penalty. The algorithm embedded socioeconomic assumptions into who you are allowed to see. Tinder claimed to abandon the ELO system in 2019, the same year Duportail's investigation went public. They say they replaced it. But every user community documents the same phenomenon. The new user boost, massive visibility in the first 24 hours, and then a cliff. The boost decays, matches dry up. Upgrade prompts appear at the exact moment of maximum frustration. This is not a bug. It is a conversion funnel. Which is it? A throttled funnel or a broken business model that cannot survive its own success? The business profits when you do not find love. Match Group, by contrast, argues successful matches create good churn, satisfied users who evangelize. The new user boost is not just a theory. Users have quantified it. One user documented 16 matches in his first 12 hours, then only 14 more over the next 34 days. Over half of all matches came in the first 1.5% of his account lifetime. The cycle is documented: boost, decay, frustration, subscription prompt, initial improvement, gradual decline, upsell. A subscription honeymoon followed by diminishing returns. The paywall does not just charge you, it times your hope. The question is whether the math has an endpoint. The math does have an endpoint. If you want the receipts-driven version of these stories, the numbers, the timelines, the incentives, subscribe. Here is the loop that the Securities and Exchange Commission filings prove. Free tier quality degrades. Users leave or convert. U.S. monthly actives fall 39%. Fewer free users degrade pool quality for payers. Paying users churn for 7 consecutive quarters, according to Bank of America, down 8% in the fourth quarter 2025. Match Group raises revenue per payer, up 8% in fiscal 2024, to compensate. Higher prices accelerate churn. Revenue per payer growth collapses, down 1% in the first quarter 2025. Both levers go negative simultaneously. Revenue declines 7%. This is adverse selection, a concept from insurance markets. As Match Group monetizes more aggressively, the product, access to active, diverse users, degrades. The pool gets denser with paying males and abandoned profiles. The subscriber is paying for something that gets worse because of the monetization. The more they charge, the worse the experience. The worse the experience, the more users leave. The more users leave, the more they charge. Wall Street sees the same spiral. Payer declines. Later recovery timelines. Morgan Stanley does not forecast a return to growth until 2027. Deutsche Bank flagged 200,000 weekly subscribers churning out of the system. Netflix could convert freeloaders because content is a moat. Dating apps do not have a moat, they have a pool, And when the pool shrinks, the paywall collapses. Netflix converted password sharers into payers because there was nowhere else to go. Tinder converted free users into ex-users because there was everywhere else to go. And the best alternative was owned by the same company. Is Tinder's decline a product failure or a market cycle? Every social platform eventually loses its younger users. Facebook to Instagram, Instagram to TikTok. Maybe Tinder was always going to lose Gen Z regardless. Or did the paywall accelerate a decline that could have been gradual? Regulators have noticed. In August 2025, the Federal Trade Commission forced Match Group to pay $14 million for deceptive advertising and cancellation practices on Match.com. An internal Match presentation described the cancellation flow as hard to find, tedious, and confusing. The Federal Trade Commission found that up to 30% of new Match.com members were scammers, and nearly 500,000 users subscribed within 24 hours of receiving fraudulent communications. Then the age discrimination settlement. $60,500,000 resolved claims that Tinder charged users over 30 up to double the price, $19.99 versus $9.99. Senators Hassan and Blackburn wrote to Match Group's chief executive officer about algorithmic design contributing to romance scams. And a 2024 lawsuit alleges the apps are deliberately addictive. Regulatory pressure is compounding at the same time the financial spiral is accelerating. If you are seeing these patterns in other industries, paywalls that eat their own product, the Amazon Flywheel episode breaks down the same mechanics in retail. So the machine is broken, Match Group knows it, and their response reveals something unexpected. To be fair, they are spending $60 million trying to fix it. Chief Executive Officer Raskoff has publicly said he is solving for what will make the stock price higher 3 years from now. They have launched FaceCheck, which they claim has reduced bad actors by more than 50%. Here is the paradox. Their own Sparks coverage metric, measuring what percentage of users engage in a meaningful conversation, climbed 4% year over year in December 2025. The product is working better, but fewer people are willing to pay for it. If conversations are up 4% and payers are down 8%, the paywall has decoupled from value. But the structural problem remains. The algorithm optimizes for engagement, not outcomes. A successful relationship is, mathematically, a churn event. Amplitude's analysis states it plainly. Every time Tinder facilitates a successful match that leads to a meaningful relationship, they lose 2 customers. Bristlemoon research found that Tinder's network effects may actually reverse at scale. Each new user makes the experience worse, not better, because of what they call network contaminants. With 76% male users, the supply and demand imbalance means the majority will statistically receive fewer than 1 match per day on the free tier. This is the paradox at the center of every dating app. The product works by making itself unnecessary, and the subscription model fights that by making the product work less well, keeping users engaged longer by delivering results more slowly. The friction is not a bug. The friction is the product. The users have delivered their verdict. Tinder has a 1.2 out of 5 rating on Trustpilot across nearly 5,000 reviews. The most common complaint is that the platform is more focused on extracting money than providing a genuine dating experience. Users report a consistent pattern. Subscribe, see a flood of likes. Let the subscription lapse, the flood turns into a desert. Renew, and the likes come back, but the quality never matches the promise. The honeymoon fades faster each time. So where does the spiral end? Match Group projects. Tinder revenue will continue declining through 2026. They have cut 13% of the workforce, 325 positions. They are betting that Hinge, now at 691 million, will cross 1 billion by 2027 and offset the losses. The portfolio rotation is the strategy. Tinder is not being saved. It is being harvested. But the deeper question is whether any subscription dating app can escape this paradox. Hinge already shows early signs. Rose jail. Premium-only access to attractive profiles. Algorithmic stratification. The same incentive structure applies. Profit from loneliness, not from love. Match Group has built the most sophisticated monetization architecture in consumer software. The question is whether they have also built the architecture of their own obsolescence. In 2012, Tinder was free because the network was the product. In 2026, the paywall is the product. They did not just build a wall around the experience, they built one inside it. And the wall is closing in on the people who paid to get past it. They spent a decade strip mining the romantic impulse for shareholder value. But in 2026, they are learning the oldest rule of the resource economy. Eventually, the mine runs dry. The same anchor and extract mechanics that built Tinder's paywall are destroying American shopping malls from the inside. That story is next.